Thanks for hanging in there again with me. This week, the post that we're going to talk about here in this video is basically a summary of what I've learned through my EdTech 300 class. And the biggest thing that I've taken away from the class to date, without a doubt, would be the importance of digital literacy. So we went through a lot, but that stood out to me the most, in that it's important for not only teachers but students to know what's going on and what you all need to know to be digitally literate. It starts with the inevitability with technology's use in the classroom. It's already widespread, but it's only going to get further as technology advances and things become easier to do online or with a computer than on a chalkboard, for example. So assessment tools we just talked about in our latest class, things like Socrative, Kahoot, Flipgrid, Mentimeter, those different things that you can use in terms of assessment tools make life a lot easier and can be fun for the kids, and that helps promote the learning. So the importance with that comes into play, and how you can use those tools and those assessment tools in almost any class, and how it's important to use literacy and technology in any class, because technology is becoming so widespread that it's not just an English class or a computers class that involves technology, but even a physical education class can use technology because of Apple Watches and iWatches and different things that have Fitbits that count your steps, that you need to put your information into so that they can start to understand you and give you the correct data. It's important that people understand the literacy, or that are literate enough to understand what they're putting in, what type of information they're giving away, so that they are still staying as private as they need to be. And the other thing we talked about in class that kind of goes with this was how the internet used to be public by default and private by default and public with effort, but now it's the other way around, and how now it's public by default and private with effort. So we need to teach people the importance of that privacy, what they're giving away, and do they know what they're giving away? Do they understand when you click that little button that says I agree? When you haven't read everything, have they understood what they're getting themselves into? The importance of knowing that, the importance of digital citizenship and being a strong digital citizen, even as a teacher or as a student, whether you're behaving appropriately online, you're discussing things appropriately, you understand the importance of equity online and the ability to use technology. Not everyone will have that opportunity, so being able to be a positive or a true digital citizen is equally as important as the rest. Also, being able to decipher, using that literacy that you have to decipher the right from the wrong, or the fake news from the right stuff, and being able to use what we discussed as lateral reading, not just being on one page, but being able to flip from tool to tool and getting off of that page and looking at different references to see if this is something that's believable, something that's honest, or if it's not just made up for clickbait to get you going on, get you catching on to that website. The example that was used with us was a lot of Dr. Alec Kouros, I hope I pronounced that right, and how his name has been used in all sorts of fake accounts, and he's been abused, unfortunately, online. But that's an example of seeing some of those accounts and the work that they've went through to make it seem real, when unfortunately it's a big hoax. But this, again, going back to the digital literacy and the importance of knowing what you're doing and how you're doing it, and using different tools in an educational setting for connecting, tools like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, blogs, all those different tools that can be used not just for following your favorite celebrities and knowing what they're doing, your favorite athletes, but connecting with professionals online and using chats via hashtags, and using tools like TweetDeck to open up different avenues to see things was super valuable. And blogging and learning about the different blogging features that you can use are things that I found is incredibly valuable for for this class, and things that can be used in any class. These are things that we just talked about in our educational technology class, but these are things that aren't just for educational technology. I think that's important, that it's not just for a computer class, for an education class. It can be used anywhere. And there's so many tools out there that can help you as a teacher and as a student learn. And not just the students learning, but the teachers need to learn. But the biggest thing I found was you need to be digitally literate. You need to understand what you're doing, what you're getting yourself into before you jump into that rabbit hole that is the internet. So that was my biggest takeaway. I really enjoyed the class, but that was the biggest thing, is learning the importance of digital literacy and being a quality digital citizen. Thanks for hanging around, blog family. Cheers.